Hey everyone, so my hair is wet, so just ignore that. But I have a tutorial for you, a duct tape tutorial on how to make this cute little duct tape bag. And the really cool thing about it is after next year, when where's the side? When it's done, it folds right up, so you can reuse it. And I'm gonna go ahead and get to this tutorial. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to be using two different colors of duct tape, one for the trim and one for the bag color, an X-Acto knife, and then I'm also going to be using scissors. X-Acto knife is optional, but you need at least, and so are the scissors, but you need a cutting tool. I got this X-Acto knife from Joann's. It was $10, and then you're also going to need a cutting board. I got this cutting board at Walmart in the sewing section, and it was also $10. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the tutorial. So first up, my bag size is going to be a small bag. It's going to be a little bit bigger than this one. So that's the dimensions I'm using. To measure how big you need it to be, just say that you're giving this as a gift, lay it down on your cutting board and then give it about an inch or to half an inch of space. So, just measure half an inch out from your design, and that should, or from what you're gifting, and that should be enough. So, I'm going to go ahead and start my bag. Okay, so the next scene got deleted on accident, but all I did was make a sheet of duct tape that's 7 inches by 5 inches. Okay, so now I just made my two side
pieces
as well as the other bag piece.
So
oh my gosh. Okay, so I finished my other side piece as well as, I'll call this the base pieces, I guess, the bigger sides, and then the smaller sides, I guess I'll call the front and back. This is what I'll call these. So I finished the front and back, and I also finished the sides. So to make your sides, you're going to use the same length as you used for your front and back. So this should be the exact same, so mine was 7 inches. And then for the width of mine, I used 3 inches, but you can use however wide you think you need, and it's better for it to be too wide than for it to be not wide enough. So now that we have all these pieces made, it's time to make the bottom piece. So for your bottom, it's going to be this length right here. So ours is 5, or mine is 5, I don't know what yours is. So mine is 5 by this length right here, which is 3. So for yours, just make it however big you need it. So it should be this length by this length. So mine is 5 by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and make that piece right now. Okay, so now that my bottom's complete, I'm going to cut a piece that's 7 inches. I need two 7-inch pieces because I'm going to tape on the panels, and I'm going to need one 5-inch piece and then one 3-inch piece. So once I've already cut those, so I'm going to take one of my 7-inch pieces and cut it in half. And I'm going to grab my front piece and a side, and I'm going to set these side by side and then just tape them together. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm just going to set these side by side and put these together. Okay, so now that these two sides are complete, I'm going to put on my bottom piece. So just attach the bottom piece to the front panel. So just fold up these sides so you can see where it needs to go. So mine goes right here, and I have my 5-inch piece right here. Cut this in half. Place this on the bottom, and then I just fold it up to make sure it's nice and secure. So now what we're going to do is take our other 7-inch piece. Just leave this 5-inch piece there because we're going to come back to that later. Cut this in half. Take our back panel and attach that to one of the sides. So we're going to attach this to the side. Okay, so your layout should be side panel, front, side panel, back, and the bottom. So it should fold up like this, basically to make a box. So to attach these pieces on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3-inch piece, cut this in half, and I'm going to close it up like this so that these two, the side is coming together with the bottom. They just should sit right next to each other really nicely. And just do it this way so you can see. Get more light. So as you can see, I'm just going to lay these down next to each other. It's kind of hard to do this at a good view. Lay these down next to each other, like this, and then just pop it over. So it's very simple. It should fold really nicely and really easily. And you're just going to fold it up again so that you have your other side. And it should hold pretty well like a little box once you get that one side up. So take my 3-inch piece, oops, I keep hitting it. Take my 3-inch piece, just pop these on. Helps if you set it down on the ground and do it, but I can't find a very good view to show you without holding it up. And then next, you're going to attach the bottom piece. So you take your 5-inch piece, and then again, it'll be on here like this. So it'll be like this, and then you just fold it over. And then the last piece is going to be your 7-inch piece, which I'm just going to set on it. And then just fold this down. Alright, so now you have your box completed. It's time to make the little holes where your handles are going to go. Or actually, I need to do trim first. I almost forgot to do the trim. So for the trim, you're going to cut out one piece this length and then one piece this length. So I'm going to cut a 5-inch piece and a 3-inch piece. And then I'll get back to you once I do that. Okay, so now that I have my pieces trimmed, or my pieces cut, you're just going to trim up your thing, whatever it's called, your bucket, your bag, just like you would trim a wallet, and just make sure everything's nice and even. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I almost forgot. Before you trim, you need to cover up these pieces of sticky tape with a piece of tape. So just cut a 7-inch piece of tape. You need 2 7-inch pieces of tape. Cut it in half and then cover up these sides. And do the same thing with the bottom. But you should only need 1 piece of tape for the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead, or what you could do, cut 2 7-inch pieces of tape, put one here, one here, one here, and then cut the other half piece of tape into 5 inches and put it right here. And then that should cover up all the sticky tape. Okay, so now that it has this nice trim all the way around and all the sides are nice and covered, I'm going to fold it. So how I do this is I start at the top, just pushing in at the middle, and I make sure that these edges are even. So I just push them down until they're even, and then I keep going down, kind of making sure that nothing gets scrunched up on the inside. So just keep going down. So basically what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto knife, fold it, set it down, and right where this piece is, so right on your fold, you're going to mark, and that's right where you're almost going to, it's where it's going to go through. But make sure you're not cutting through this piece. Don't cut this. If you did accidentally cut your sides, that's fine. Just throw a piece of duct tape over it and it'll do fine. I'm gonna pop my knuckles. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is use the trim color as my straps. So I'm only gonna make these straps, I think I'll do about 10 inches. Cut it in half. And then just take one of these pieces and then just fold it really, just do a really tight fold. So just a thin line. Don't worry if it gets wrinkly because it's going to be all folded up anyways. So then just keep folding this as tightly as possible so you just have a thin strand, and I'm going to do that to both sides and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so as you can see, I've attached one side, and I think the length is really nice. So here's how I did it. So just take your string and start from the inside, push through, you may have to fold it a little bit, but push through one of these holes that you make. A little 1-inch square of tape, I just cut 1 inch and then cut it in half. And you're going to tape your little piece that's left, you're going to tape that down. So make sure it's pointed down and not up, and that way it helps your strap stay up. And now I'm going to take this other piece, push it through, and that, it'll be a little bag. That'll finish your gift bag, a duct tape gift bag. So I hope you guys like this tutorial.